Good afternoon. I'm Kim with Forever Fierce Over 50,
I'm John.
and today is Political Thursday. So we usually do politics, cigars and politics. So we're doing cigars and politics again. These are the little Tatiana vanilla cigars, and oh, they smell so good. So let's light it up. Our torch lighter died. We're going to take it to the cigar shop tomorrow.
I don't know why this is not working.
Oh my God.
It was full, I thought.
Well, clearly it's not. Go get, on the coffee table is a stick lighter for the candles.
Okay.
All right. When all else fails, get the stick lighter. Right. Light it again. It's February and the ice cream man is rolling. All right, so it's Political Thursday, and what we usually talk about is political things that affect those of us who are over 50. Well, I just can't believe where we are at in this country. Now, first of all, I do want to say, I don't think, there goes a car driving by. We're sitting on the front porch because it's really nice today. And, okay. First of all, I want to say, I don't think it's your age. I think it's your ability. Joe Biden is what, 81? Is he 81? And he is like this side of dead. He's clearly not all there, and he hasn't been for a long time. But he's far worse now than he was when he first took office. Some people are saying Trump is too old. He doesn't seem too old to me. Now, because of the nature of what I do for a living, sometimes I talk to people who are young and they sound ancient. Like they might be in their 40s or 50s and they just sound like little old people,
Mm-hmm.
like you can barely understand them. And then I talk to people who are, in their late 90s or even in the hundreds, and they're sharp as a tack. So it is more about your personal situation in life. Joe Biden has had a couple of different aneurysms in his brain. He's had surgeries, where his brain has been exposed and things like that. So that does affect people. Well, clearly he's been affected, but that's not exactly what we want to talk about today. So I was just chilling, and I saw a video on YouTube, and they were talking about the grave national emergency, and I thought, what? Of course, the first thing I did is look to see when it got posted, and it was 28 minutes before I saw it. So I turned on the news, and lo and behold, there's senators talking about this grave national emergency. It's very, very, very serious. It's something about Russia. They won't say they want to get Biden to declassify the information so that they can talk to the public about it. And that Mike Johnson says, oh, well, yeah, it's very, very serious, but I don't want the American people to worry. It's nothing that's going to happen right away. And it's not like you have to get in your bomb shelters or anything right now.
Yeah,
wait for
another hour or so.
But, you know, as soon as they tell you not to panic, that's like when we start panicking. That's like, oh my God, if it is something that they feel like they need to tell us, then it's pretty serious, I would say. We filmed this the day before. So we filmed this on Wednesday evening when the story broke, or Wednesday afternoon. Come Wednesday evening, there was some more information that came out, and I'm going to share that with you at the end of this video. So keep watching.
It's like when COVID hit, you know, they said, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be okay. It was the first thing we did. We went out and bought masks right away.
Yeah, no, you don't need a mask. We got masks.
We went and got masks.
But then when they said, oh, you need a mask, we realized by then it was nothing big. So anyway, can't talk about that on YouTube. So.
Okay.
But my channel is not big enough yet to get in too much trouble for that.
Okay.
Anyway, so apparently it's something that has to do with Russia, and it has to do with space.
Let me think about that for a minute.
Clearly, I mean, what do I know? But Russia is far advanced from us militarily. We've spent our time and money making the military woke and being more concerned about, excuse me, about soldiers getting, what do they call it? Sex change surgeries and stuff.
Yeah.
And having drag queens in the military. I mean, because that's a priority, right?
And being lax,
having a wide open border with lots and lots and lots of Chinese and Russians pouring over the border every day. Who would have thought that might be an issue? Certainly not Biden. The plain and simple fact is they do not care that it hurts us. We don't mean anything to them. And this is serious. This is scary. And I'm going to keep trying to stay ahead of the game on this. But we live very close to a military base. And I'll tell you what, the military has been doing
exercises.
A lot of exercises, little war game stuff, and blowing stuff up all hours of the day and night, way more than they ever used to.
Yeah, the other day it was like every couple of seconds, all day long.
Yeah, and all night.
Yeah, and in the middle of the night, it was like
it was going all night.
So I thought that's kind of weird. We never heard, we hear the explosions every so often. We don't hear them constantly like that all night.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck's going on here?
Hand. I've got a nerve damage in it goes from my elbow into my hand, and my hand gets numb, and sometimes it cramps up. It was cramping up from holding my cigar. These are little ones, and it cramped up. Anyway, it's just really, I really don't understand what's going on. I feel like we're on the edge of a knife.
Yeah.
There's another helicopter. Boy, there's been a lot of military helicopters in the last few days. There've just been tons of them. And it's really worrisome because, you know, we have a son-in-law who's in the military. We have one who just got out of the military. That was last year, right? Or the year before?
Yeah.
Here comes the ice cream truck again. He's playing Christmas music.
Yeah. Ice cream man playing Christmas music. That's not right.
And you know what really scares me too is that after that initial flurry of information, they haven't said anything else.
Yeah, it stopped. It's like chop.
And that makes me think, well, I guess Joe Biden doesn't want us to know what's going on because they were going to ask him to declassify the stuff so they could tell us. I mean, Russia and space. What does that sound like? To me, it says either they're going to screw up our satellite systems, which would screw up everything for us, or it could even be an EMP strike, which is electromagnetic pulse. But that would be really, really bad too. If it's satellites, hopefully Elon Musk has some that he can put up in orbit to replace whatever Russia damages. If that's the case, now we're just speculating. But if it's an EMP, unless something's in a Faraday cage, it's toast. And that means everything's going to be toast. Your car, all the electrical power. I mean, we could be in the dark ages. And the news was saying it is a grave threat. Grave threat. Oh, but don't be worried. It's just a grave threat.
Yeah. Don't be worried. Well, we'll find out, huh?
I mean, things have gotten batshit crazy. We have a neighbor that went out a couple of days ago and stocked up on ammo. And I'm grateful he did.
He said he's got a feeling something bad's going to happen here pretty soon.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting tons, thousands and thousands and thousands of military-age men from all around the world, single military-age men coming in and doing target practice. They've been caught doing target practice. What do you think they're targeting? They're coming to kill us.
And then we had Kansas City parade for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And somebody was shooting that up. That's crazy.
Here we go. This is the start of it.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
So everything's really up in the air, you know. And I hate that part of it. You don't know. I'm not going to tell you. You can't.
We got a trip coming up in 2 weeks. And that's really scary because what if we go where we're going and we can't get back? What if we go where we're going and get stranded out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, it'll be a longer cruise.
Get stranded in the deep blue with no power? That would not be fun.
Well, they'd have power.
No, they wouldn't.
Why not?
Because if an EMP happens, there would be no power.
That could be and we wouldn't know how to get anywhere because
it would depend. I guess it would depend on where it hit and how far spread it would be. But yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, you don't know.
They took out the ship, all the computer stuff with it, satellite stuff, and so they They knew where they were going because computers drive those boats.
The computers do everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
That would stop us right there.
Everything.
Dead in the
There'd be no
water.
YouTube videos. There'd be no TV news. You wouldn't even know what was going on because everything would just be dead. I mean, everything, any electronic thing would be dead. Your car would not work. You know, it's crazy because everything has got electronics in it these days. So I guess in these terribly uncertain times, I would recommend. Now, hopefully nothing happens.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't want anything to happen, but it scares me that we've got brain dead Biden with his finger on the nuclear trigger. That scares me. And he's so angry, you know. And he doesn't give a crap about us. So that scares me. But the best thing that you can do right now is be proactive. Make sure that you have plenty of food. Make sure you have plenty of water. Make sure that you can find alternate transportation. Make sure that if you have weapons, that you've got ammunition for the weapons, that you're brushed up on how to use it. Our neighbor is going to take us to the base to shoot, so that's good. But
We're going to learn. I've never had a gun in my hand before.
nope, me neither.
I had a cap gun when I was a little kid, but I didn't like it.
No.
But yeah, learn how to shoot a gun. Like that.
You know, you didn't even have a military family. No. I did. At least I've been around guns. My dad had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it's like we're in the twilight zone right now. Truly.
Yep.
And it's really hard because I feel like, I have no control. You can't control it. We're powerless. They don't even care what we think, you know? And if they said it's Russia, so you got to imagine that Putin is mad because we're going to give another $60 billion to Ukraine. When this whole thing started because Kamala Harris said, oh, we're going to have Ukraine join NATO. And he doesn't want that because if you guys have not seen Tucker Carlson's interview with Putin, I highly recommend you watch it. It's a little tedious in the beginning when Putin's going on about his history lesson and stuff, but there's some very interesting information that I didn't even know. He wanted to join NATO. He wanted to be on our side back after the fall of the Soviet Union. He wanted to be aligned with the West, and we wouldn't have him. And he tried several times, and they wouldn't cooperate. They wouldn't talk to him. They wouldn't, And these days you just don't know what to believe. When they're telling us that Trump, who was the president and had documents that he himself declassified by virtue of being the president, that he is a criminal, which, first of all, I don't believe he's a criminal at all. But they say he's a criminal and they got to prosecute him. Yet Joe Biden, who willfully took very classified documents and has lied about it over and over and over. And he said, but I cooperated. No, he didn't. Read the information. He did not cooperate. And they're not going to do anything to him, even though he gave out classified information. It was sitting in his garage too with his drug-addled son who was doing business with China. So it's very likely that they could have used that information to further their business interests. Because for them, making money for them is more important than you or me or anybody else. It's all about Joe and his money. And I'm so sick of hearing, oh, he's just being a good dad. If he was a good dad, he would have shoved his foot up his son's ass years ago. Instead, he supported it. He's allowed him to carry on and be a drug addict his entire life. Hunter Biden has never faced consequences for his actions, so why should he change? And if you think someone who has been that into drugs, if you think for one friggin' second that he's not doing drugs now, you're nuts. I've been around some addicts. I know. They don't stop. Anyway, what do you got to say?
I think pretty much said it. It's just we got to be very careful and everybody get together and prepare for if something bad happens. We have to, as communities,
That bird was coming this way.
It was?
And then he saw me. He's like, oh, shit. It scared me.
We have to get together and we have to get Biden out of there right now. We have to get all those clowns out of there right now and get our military together and get this shit handled now.
And get rid of the woke crap.
Yeah.
We don't need a woke military.
No, we
We
don't.
need our men to fight.
Yeah, we need to be men again. We went in to do basic training. You got your ass kicked. And they did that for a reason. They wanted you
To be a man.
to save your life.
Yeah.
You know, stand up like a man and do your job and it'll save your life. But no, you got to do all this pansy shit.
Got to make sure you have
killed.
drag queens.
You're not going to have the balls, excuse me, to go out there and stand up and fight.
And shoot somebody that's coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are in a very, very weak position as a country. We are in a position that we've never been in before. And this is not just illegal immigration. This is an invasion. It is an invasion. They're not immigrants. They're not migrants. They're not, undocumented workers. They're invaders. They're foreign invaders. And look up the FBI, what the FBI has to say about it. You'll see. They're foreign invaders. Our own FBI knows it. Our whole country knows it. The only one who doesn't seem to know it is the Democrats. Well, actually, a lot of Democrats now. When I say Democrats, I mean the administration, the president or resident. I guess I should say, because I don't think he got in there fair and square either.
No. He's not running.
He's clearly not running it. Oh my God. When that Karine Jean-Pierre starts, he does more in an hour than most people do in a day. Really? Yeah. Show us. Oh, well, I've seen him and he's on top of he's so sharp and he pushes us for more information. No. BS. They're telling us to not believe what we see. And we've all had a parent or a relative or some loved one that we've known over the years that has been in that shape. Regardless of age, younger, older, they get to that shape, it. And it's not good. And we can't have that as commander-in-chief because he's not commanding anything. And then
everybody around the world, all the other countries know it.
Yeah, they know it. They know he's not the leader. So then again, who is? It's our government. We pay them. They're sending our hard-earned money. They're taking our hard-earned money and not helping our citizens, our seniors, our homeless, our veterans, and they're giving it to invaders and foreign countries. They don't care what we say. They don't care what we want. They do what they want anyway. And that's why Donald Trump came on the scene, because he was trying to give the government back to the people, because he could see what was going on and he didn't like it. Anyway, I'm super frustrated, but again, what we're trying to say is be prepared.
And all of us will be finding out way more real soon on this. So we should come up with some.
We'll keep posting. If we find out anything, we'll post and let you guys know. And, make comments down below if you know anything, if you hear anything. It's better to have a network of people that if in wherever you live, if you hear something or see something that's not right, we all need to try to stick together on this. So.
Fox News alert: America is apparently facing a national security threat from Russia that's so terrifying that our own government said they couldn't tell us what it is. This vague threat started this morning. Primetime producers were getting alerts on their phones, each alert more ominous, but just as vague. Congress said there was a threat, but we couldn't tell how serious it was, and neither could anyone else.
There's really no cause for panic or alarm around this particular piece of intelligence.
Should be concerned. It's serious. That's all I can say right now.
This is a serious issue. There are many serious issues that we undertake all the time, but there's no need to panic. This is not an immediate crisis.
This is one more thing to worry about in terms of Vladimir Putin and his attack on democracy and freedom.
Okay, this all started when the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Republican Mike Turner, released a statement saying this, quote, "Today, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence has made available to all members of Congress information concerning a serious national security threat. I am requesting President Biden declassify all information relating to this threat so that Congress can openly discuss the actions necessary to respond to this threat." Primetime doesn't know Mike Turner very well. He's been on our show once, maybe twice. He wants to protect the country. We believe he's a patriot, but I've been in this business for 20 years and something seemed off. Doesn't the Gang of Eight usually handle big intel announcements? And where's the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who still hasn't ever done our show for some reason? Well, he runs to the microphone and tells Americans not to panic.
I want to assure the American people there is no need for public alarm. We are going to work together to address this matter, as we do all sensitive matters that are classified.
So one Mike says, very serious national security threat that Biden has to declassify. And then a more powerful Mike says nothing to be alarmed about, we'll handle it in private. Democrats are saying it's serious, but it's no need to panic. Other Democrats saying Putin's attacking our democracy. What's going on here? And then we get the drip, 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 little morsels of info all afternoon. It's something we've known about for a long time. Then it's something we just found out about. Politico reported the intelligence was related to Russia's hypersonic cruise missile that can fly at speeds between Mach 6 and Mach 8. They also speculated that the Russians and North Koreans were joining forces to attack our space capabilities. The media was going crazy.
We have new reporting on a cryptic message that the House Intelligence Committee released on social media about a, quote, serious national security threat. What do we know about this?
Cryptic is the right word. We still have more questions than answers at this point.
This must be a grave situation for the chair of the Intelligence Committee to make such a bold statement.
The threat is related to Russia.
It's not that Martians are going to land right now in the U.S., but it is something of concern.
All right. Once the media was throttled into an orgy of speculation, the intelligence community leaked to their favorite New York Times reporters, Eric Schmidt and David Sanger, that the intelligence was about Russian nukes. You ready? The new intelligence was serious, said the New York Times. But these Russian nuclear capabilities didn't exist. and they were still under development, and they hadn't been deployed. This information was classified and could not be declassified, even though Russia can read the New York Times. But it gets juicier. Leaks to the Times also reveal that Russia is developing space-based nukes that could blow up our satellites. But again, Russian space nukes haven't been developed and aren't even in orbit. First, they told us Russians were using World War II-era tanks in Ukraine, and now they've built the Death Star, and we're all going to die. The House Intelligence Committee said this new piece of intelligence was destabilizing. And as this was breaking, Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, rushed into the briefing room and said, do not worry about this threat. But more importantly, Congress must fund the Ukraine war.
This bipartisan legislation will allow the United States to continue to support the people of Ukraine alongside our allies and partners as they fight every single day to defend their freedom and independence.
Can you tell Americans that there's nothing they have to worry about right now in terms of what he describes as a national security threat?
Look, I think in a way that question it is impossible to answer with a straight yes. Right?
Now, if I were a cynic, I would suspect that Washington, anxious to pass the Ukraine funding, teased out some intelligence as a scare tactic to jam money through. And Politico, also skeptical, writing, quote, it's possible Turner was attempting to raise alarms about Russia's advancements in space as a way of underscoring the need for lawmakers to approve additional aid to Ukraine. But Washington's rusty. Not everybody got the memo. Democrat Congressman Jim Hines, who's on the Intel Committee, said, the threat is not going to ruin your Thursday. Fox's Jackie Heinrich just reported that this isn't a weapon that would attack humans. Although, if our satellites are destroyed, my GPS dies and I'll probably drive into a lake. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking this threat lightly. I'm sure Russians are working on space weapons. It's just ironic that the same people who mocked Trump for Space Force are now hysterical over Russia's Space Force. It's not even in orbit. Now, if Russia really was planning on putting a nuclear missile into space, that would violate the 1967 Outer Space Treaty and could theoretically lead to a major escalation. Something about today's news cycle, though, just seems deliberate. Someone played a game of Mad Libs and came up with Russia nukes space. On the same day, Kamala Harris is flying to the Munich Security Summit, where our NATO allies will be rallying to defend Ukraine from Vlad. Hope I'm wrong. I hope all of our politicians and security officials are operating in good faith. But we've been deceived into raiding the Treasury for foreign adventures before. Americans are a noble people. If you can persuade us with honesty and logic, we'll spend money overseas in order to protect our interests. But don't disrespect us and trick us into writing more checks. Washington's been caught way too many times playing games, and they'll have to do better than this.
As you can see, there's something very fishy going on, and I would hope better from our government, but it does kind of look like they are just playing us for fools again to try to get what they want, get our money. Anyway, that's Political Thursday, our political thoughts and our cigars. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because we're going to be doing Political Thursday every Thursday. Tomorrow is Finance Friday, so join us tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for Political Thursday. Have a wonderful evening and stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye-bye.